This lesson is about the order of operations. When you're trying to evaluate an expression, the first thing you do is you look for parentheses, and for each parentheses you evaluate the expression inside. Next thing you do is you look for operations with exponents, and you evaluate those next. After that, you evaluate operations that involve multiplication and division, and that you have to perform these from left to right in your expression, and then you perform the operations that involve addition and subtraction. And again, you evaluate those from left to right. So let's look at an example. Suppose we have 5 times 4 plus 3 times 2. Now the question is, what do I do first? Do I add the 4 and the 3? Do I multiply the 5 and the 4? Do I multiply with 3 and the 2? Well, this order of operations tells me that I do the multiplication before the addition. There's no parentheses or exponents in this expression. So all I need to do here is make sure I do the multiplications before the additions. So this multiplication here ends up being 20, and then this multiplication here is 6. So I have 20 plus 6, which is equal to 26. Not too bad. Let's do a second example. Okay, suppose that we have 10 plus 3 times 2 to the third power minus 4 times 6 minus 2. Okay, the order of operations tells me that I should look for the parentheses first. So we've got parentheses here, so I should evaluate this. 6 minus 2 is 4. So I basically replace this entire parentheses by the number 4. I could rewrite it if I want, but I'll just leave it like this. Next, after parentheses, you evaluate the exponents. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So now I've gotten rid of that. So the next thing is multiplication and division, starting from left to right. 3 times 8 is 24. Let me just use a different color here. So this whole number here becomes 24. And I could cross that out now if I wanted to. And then 4 times 4, this whole number here, becomes 16. So now it's a little messy, so let me rewrite it. So I've got 10 plus 24 minus 16. Now I've taken care of the multiplication and division. I go on to adding and subtracting. So from left to right, 10 plus 24 is 34. 34 minus 16 is 34 minus 16 is 18. And that is the final answer for this one. Okay, let's try another one. So the third example, oops, a little bit of extra. Third example, let's try 2 plus 3 squared divided by 7 minus 2 times 3 minus 6 plus 2 times 1 plus 1 over 4. Just trying to make this difficult here. All right, now the first thing to notice is that we've got these fraction things. Now I didn't describe this above, but whenever you have a fraction where you have some expression over another expression, this is really a division. However, what it implies, and what's usually not displayed, but you can add it in if you want, is that the numerator of this fraction needs to have parentheses around it, and the denominator does. So whenever you have a fraction like this with expressions on the top and the bottom, you really should think about parentheses around the numerator and parentheses around the denominator. Same for this. Now that 4 doesn't need parentheses, but I'll put them anyway, because it can't really do any harm. Okay, so now that I've added my parentheses in, I know that I need to evaluate this expression, 2 plus 3 squared. Well, I should really do that on the side here, so don't be afraid to use paper. 2 plus 3 squared is equal to, well, I got to do the exponent first, so 3 squared is 9, 2 plus 9 is 11. Okay, 2 plus 9. So this whole thing here becomes 11. And on the bottom here, I've got 7 minus 2 times 3. So again, I got to do the multiplication before the subtraction. So this becomes 7 minus 6, which is 1. So I replace this whole thing on the bottom here by a 1. So I've got 11 divided by 1. Then minus 6 plus 2 times, okay, 1 plus 1 is 2. That's no problem. And 4 is 4. So now I've done all my parentheses. Next, I got to see if I have any exponents. Well, there's none left because I've already taken care of that within this sub-expression here. All right, any multiplication and division? Well, I have multiplication, but realize that this fraction is division. So let me rewrite this. It's really, change color here. Let me rewrite my original expression. So I've got 11 divided by 1, because I've replaced the fraction bar with a divided by, minus 6 plus 2 times 2 divided by 4. Okay, so now I go through and do the multiplication and division from left to right. So 11 divided by 1 is 11. So I got 11 minus 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 divided by 4. Now I still have to do more division here. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so 11 minus 6 plus 1 is 11 minus 6 plus 1 is 6. And that's the final answer for this one. All right, let's do another example. Let's say we have 3 times 2 plus 5 squared divided by 7. Okay, I look and I see that I've got a parentheses. What's inside the parentheses? 2 plus 5. Don't worry about the squared for now. I'm just worrying about what's inside the parentheses. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So I take that and replace it by 7. Now let me just take an opportunity to rewrite this. 3 times 7 squared, because the 7 was in parentheses and that whole thing got squared, divided by 7. Next, I've got an exponent right here. So this is 3. 7 squared is 49, divided by 7. Now 3 times 49 is 147. 147 divided by 7 is 21. So that would be the answer. So, not too bad, huh? Good job. Now try some on your own.